Well, good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Friday, and it is getting towards the end of the work week. Probably, as you know, yesterday was an episode that was pre-recorded during the PLDT outage, and I didn't do a video yesterday in order to catch up today, so we're in sort of a live episode upload. You know how I do the videos each day? I do the work around the house here, all the DIY help tips and things like that, and then in the evening time I upload it so you get to see it the same day as I'm doing the actual build around here at Feliz. Well, anyway, I believe we are caught up and we are on schedule now for doing another what I call semi-live updated video. So this morning, the guys are downstairs. They are working on the plant boxes, the steps going up to the backyard, and I've got some exciting updates about that, and I think you're going to enjoy those updates. But we'll get into that later in the video. Well, this morning, I'm sitting here chatting with Ness, and I picked up one of the things she ordered a couple of weeks ago online. And we're also going to do a package opening of something that she ordered that's going to help us with our internet precautionary measures here in the event that we have outages with our PLDT. Again, we have a backup solution, and we'll talk about that as we start today's video. Well, let's go ahead and get today's video started. Well, anyway, before we get started, I'll just see Ness is here joining me this morning. And she will be she hasn't gone to bed yet, so she's getting to be part of my morning schedule here for today's episode. So, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Well, let me update you where we are at in the build and some of the things that went on yesterday. Yesterday, again, I said earlier today that we didn't do a video yesterday. Well, we kind of did do a little bit of a video because we had a guest here yesterday. We had a guest that came over all the way from Switzerland. So I have a segment today. I'll do a visitor to Villa Feliz segment. I'll include that once I do the editing at the end of the day today. But the beginning of today's video, we're going to talk about something that we are using as a backup precautionary measure in the event we have another PLDT outage. And a lot of you have suggested this in some of the earlier comments on the episodes during the PLDT outage. You said, why don't you use some of the portable Wi-Fi devices? Well, anyway, Ness did. She did. She went online and she picked up from Globe. So we have now PLDT for our fiber inside the house, and we have some kind of a Globe product. I don't know, but I'll tell you the story behind it. Is yesterday I had to go to Wilcon to pick up some building supplies for the workers outside. Again, this is going to be part of the updated interesting story about what they're doing now out in the basement area. But I picked up a bunch of bags of tile adhesive and a couple other little things for the house here. Well, while I was in Wilcon, I get a phone call, and I kind of expected it, but not while I was shopping in Wilcon. I get a phone call from the Globe representative, the delivery service for Globe, and he says, I have your product for you. And I'm like, oh, that was what Ness was telling me about, but I expected them to call me up and schedule a delivery. I said, well, I am not at the subdivision right now. I'm actually shopping in Wilcon. And he said, that's okay, I'm in Lipa City right now, and Wilcon's not that far from here. Is it okay if I drop it off and deliver it to you while you're shopping? Isn't that cool? I don't think you'd ever get that in the United States. I don't think anybody would say, oh, I'm in the neighborhood while you're at Walmart. I'm going to go ahead and make one of your deliveries to you at Walmart instead of delivering it to your house. That's what's so cool about the Philippines. And this isn't the first time this has happened either. So it was a matter of convenience for him. It was a matter of convenience for me. I was able to get my package. Anyway, here's the package. We're going to make this short. And it says, let's see, something from Globe. And it was a cash on delivery. So Ness purchased this product. And I tell you what, so she'll explain to you what's inside this bag. So go ahead and kind of explain what's in here. You need to see me opening the bag as well.
What they call Globe at Home Wi-Fi. it is for the home. It's only plug and play. Just plug and play. It will work.
So can you see? Can you also see as I'm opening this?
Yeah.
Oh, so this is the product.
Oh, it's perfect size.
Okay.
I hope it works in the car too.
I hope so. So
Yeah, and it's prepaid. So there is a free 10 gigs.
okay.
Free 10 gigs.
So what Ness is concerned about, because we will be on the road doing a lot of the things that we'll need to do during the initial setup of Villa Feliz here. We're going to have some type of power. Normally these things either hooked up to some kind of USB device, but Ness was saying she thinks this hooks up to something that's like a 220 AC voltage, and we might need my truck, my Hilux, does not have an inverter inside for going from DC to AC. So I see there's a DC plug in the back here, and I think it's already they've already installed it. So the SIM card, you see the SIM thing here. I assume they've already installed it inside the Wi-Fi device. And yeah, here's your plug. Here's your plug. So it's going to have to plug into a AC adapter, or maybe what we can find is a DC plug that will plug into a 12-volt DC lighter, and will give the appropriate voltage. Because let's see.
I can use it for
It's really hard for me to see what the power is on here. I'm gonna have to get the camera and make it bigger, and find out what. But usually you can always find adapters. Instead of using AC, you can do a DC plug from 12 volts, as long as it's not more than 12 volts. Say like if it's 5 volts or even 12 volts, we'll check out and see what this is. Maybe we'll find an adapter for that. So anyway, this is the device that she bought. The Globe at Home prepaid Wi-Fi, and I think you just explained what's the plan for this?
Oh, it's prepaid, so you can buy your data.
Oh, you do loads. You would do loads.
Yeah.
I do loads. Okay, you don't have a plan, so it's a prepaid, not a postpaid.
10 gig at first.
Okay, so that's cool. So we'll play around with this later on, and I don't know what the service, because sometimes Globe is good in a certain area, sometimes Smart is good in a certain area.
They say faster than the regular Wi-Fi mobile hotspot.
This one right here?
We have.
This one? I don't know. We'll check it out. Well, we'll do a review on this device right here, and we'll share with you what our results are on this as well. It's not going to get done today. I'm not sure when we'll do this, because right now we're in the building mode. And today I have to go and get some more building supplies. An update about the steps. I will let you know about the steps. We're going to be working on the steps very soon that go from the base of the driveway to the entranceway into the garage area where the grass blocks are. Those steps that go into the backyard, we are going to be preparing those steps. Now, I purchased a year ago, some little anti-slip edges for the steps. They're a little bit bigger than the ones we used on our patio. Steps going from the patio down to the basement, and from the front of the house down to the front yard. These are a little bit bigger, a little bit more coverage. And when I went to the Lipa Wilcon store, which I purchased it from Wilcon, they didn't have it in stock, but they sourced out and they said Batangas City has it in stock, and they reserved the amount they need for that. So we'll do a road trip today down to Batangas City, pick those up, because we're very close to installing those steps. Well, anyway, let me go ahead and put all this stuff back away, and I will walk outside and I'll show you where we are in our build outside that you've missed over the last couple of days. Okay, well, let's go ahead and take a look and see what some of the surprising advancements that we've had. Now, it's a rainy day today. It rained all night long, steadily all night. You can see everything is wet, but everything is green. That's a good thing, because it's been pretty dry here lately. Now, down here in this area, take a look at what's going on down here. Now you're probably saying to yourself, James, that wasn't in the plan. Well, no, it wasn't in the plan, but I had so much left over of the stoneworks. I don't know how I kind of miscalculated, but we had enough left over, not quite to finish the entire project. I had to order some more from the folks up in Alabang, and it's in a warehouse, and they said the remainder, which is about 35, I think it's about 35 of the stone-clad tiling, will be in about a week. But we're going to use what we have here to try to finish this. So to make it look nice and clean and to kind of match with the fence post stone cladding, we're going to head. I was originally only going to put it right here, only on the plant box, but we're going to do the whole entranceway just on this section, going up the steps, going into the backyard. I think that's going to look great. It's already starting to look great, and I'm really happy about that. Now, also the pebble rock got done yesterday. The pebble rock up here for the base area right here by the composite wood, and also the topper for both of the planters. That was completed. That was completed by close of business yesterday. So we have this done, this done. So all of the pebble rock is completely done back here. And as you can see, my gardener is filling in the planters with topsoil. So we'll be able to do some shopping for some plants, maybe a couple of more ficus trees, something that's not overly growing and grow too tall, but it'll be a nice decorative type of a tree or a shrub in both of these planters. And you see this one is full. Now, I don't know if you notice it, but what I did was, on this one, on this pebble rock, I went ahead and used this, a poly sealant. You put it on with a paintbrush, it does protection. You see the water beating up. And it gives it more of a shiny coat, and it brings out the natural colors of the pebbles. So I'll be doing that to that one also. Once everything dries, I got to get another paintbrush. Because once you use it once, and if you let the paintbrush sit up and you don't clean the paintbrush, it turns hard as rock. And paintbrushes aren't that expensive. So we'll pick up some more paintbrushes and we'll do those. I think I'm also going to do it for any place we have pebble rock that you don't step on, like this area and all the other places. The only place I might not do it is the retaining wall. Now I don't want to put the poly sealant on the top of the pebble rock or on the top of the retaining wall. Occasionally you see me walking on that. It's like a tightrope wall. And the thing is, when you put that poly sealant on, it becomes very slippery. One of my neighbors has it on his regular patio in between all the tiles, and he says when it rains, he says it's very dangerous, slippery. So we won't put it on that portion. Or we could, but we just have to make sure we don't walk on it anymore. Something else I want to show you over here, just from this coconut tree right here. Remember last week we pulled all the coconuts and we scraped it. Well, we didn't do it. My gardener, Ponciano, he did all the scraping and gave me the coconut to do for smoothies and some cooking recipes. Well, he got all of them. That was 1 week ago. And you can see how many have fallen in 1 week from this tree alone. We had a lot of wind this morning from that weather pattern that's going through here from the east to the west, and everything was blowing really hard. Now, you see my truck is parked out there, but it's on the east side, and it was blowing from east to west, so I wasn't really worried about anything falling on my truck out there. Most everything, I think the furthest I've seen it drop has been right about here. But I still have to be cautious. I can't leave my truck parked in this area of the driveway at any time because of the possibility of coconuts falling on the high lugs. Well, anyway, it's probably going to be obvious because I'm wearing a different t-shirt, unless I wear the same t-shirt tomorrow that I'm wearing today, and that would be a giveaway. But today is a video that I'm taking from yesterday, if that makes any sense to you, because I did not do a video today. Today is Thursday, and tomorrow is going to be Friday, and it should be Friday when you see this, because I should be caught up on all my videos after that big PLDT outage that I had. I think I'm caught up. I think the one that I did post on Thursday was an earlier one that I posted and I scheduled, so we should be good. I'm hoping that we're going to be live, and I'm hoping this wasn't too confusing. Well, the reason I'm doing this video on Thursday that you're going to see on Friday is because I didn't do a video on Thursday, but I have guests here. I have some special guests, and you know, anytime we have visitors here to Villa Feliz, every guest is special from the vlog, from the channel, from the subscribers, from the visitors here. So anyway, today I have a couple, and a couple here. One of them has come from an extremely long distance, and one has come from not quite a long distance that you're probably very familiar from some of my trips that I do when I go shopping for landscaping, trees and shrubs and things like that. Well, anyway, I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll get into a few questions to this wonderful couple here. Anyway, please introduce yourself.
I'm Severin from Switzerland, and 31 years old, and I'm a subscriber to James' channel since day one, groundbreaking.
All right, and
Hello, I'm Florence from Santa Cruz, Laguna, and he's my fiance. And we're coupled for 7 years.
couple for 7 years. Well, I don't know. You guys follow a lot of the interviews that we do here on the channel, and Sev wrote into me. I don't know. It was about a year ago. When was the first time you wrote into me?
That was on August 25 of last year, when it was our 7th anniversary. I requested a shout out.
That's right, that's right. And Sev said he had been dating this wonderful, wonderful Filipina for such a long time. I remember that. And I made a challenge to him. I made a challenge to Sev. And I said, well, if you've been dating her for this long, I said, you need to go ahead and go the full distance and pop the question. And guess what?
We got engaged, and we're going to marry it here in Batangas on December 19.
Yeah, wonderful. So he sent me the notification later, and I was so happy. I was excited, and I forgot how you actually worded it, but he said something about that he had took my advice and he went ahead and he made the commitment. I believe that's how you put it. Yeah, right. Something just like that. Well, anyway, the folks were here today as part of the process when you go through the Catholic Church. And can you explain the process a little bit about what you went to today downtown in Lipa?
We went to Archdiocese, Lipa, and we do the canonical interview. That's part of the requirements when you're getting mixed marriage. They ask some few questions about our relationship, like that.
They asked me to kind of promise. I needed to sign to promise, if ever that we have a child, that I will baptize the child in the Catholic Church here in the Philippines.
And in your in Switzerland, because you're from Switzerland, what is your religion back in Switzerland?
Evangelic Reformed, or you will call it Protestant, I think.
Well, it's like an offshoot of the Catholic religion.
Yes, also it's also a little, Christian.
A little more modern, a little bit more modern. Okay, great.
We don't have like the Pope or like the Holy Trinity like that. It's just modern, as the name says, Reformed.
Well, the big thing in the Philippines, the number one religion, although there's multiple religions inside the Philippines, the number one religion for the most amount of people is the Catholic religion over here, and it's a very strong faith religion over here, and it's respected very much. And it has a lot to do also with how strong the family units are together here as well. So we were just talking about earlier. We just did the tour of the house here, and we were talking about how maybe if you had something like a basement, because a lot of people, when they build a house, it's like one story, and it's restricted. When you build the size of your house, it's restricted to your lot size. And of course, if you have 150 or 200 square meter lot, then your house is only going to be 120 or 150 square meters, and that's a for you to be able to put so many people, and that's kind of difficult. But if you have where you build vertically, and you have something like a basement, then you could have more family members inside, which is very common here inside the Philippines. Well, anyway, I gotta ask both of you a question, and the question is the same question I always ask everyone. You know what the question is, and it's, how did you meet each other?
In Facebook.
Facebook.
I was chatting him, and actually, he have Pinoy friend who was residing in Laguna also, and then that time I added him in Facebook. He go in the Philippines that time, and then he asked me if we can meet like that. Then it's the start of communication.
Basically, my friend whom I grew up together in Switzerland, his mom is from Paete, also in Laguna, which is the neighboring town of Santa Cruz where she came from. And since we were kids, he always kind of asked me to join him to visit his home country. But when we were kids, we don't have money, of course, for that. And then when we were kind of in the educational progress, we don't have time. And then one day in 2010, we make another decision, and he bring me to his home country. And then this is how it started. Of course, I added his local friends, and then in Facebook there will be friend suggestions, and one of them was her, and that's how she told you. That
All
was
right,
how it
but you're
started.
both pretty young. So what are the plans like? Because I know some of the older folks, a lot of their plans are to build in the Philippines and go ahead and reside here, and some of them it's the opposite. Some of them are to go to the home country of the foreigner and to move there. What are your plans?
As I told you earlier, I'm currently taking a 1-year stay in the Philippines. I save money for 2 years to make my dream possible, and we're not yet 100% sure, but it's going to be after we married. We will go back to Switzerland because it's really, especially for me, much more easier to earn money there for a job. And then we're planning to save money, and then when the time comes, we are also planning to buy a lot, but not tomorrow. It will be in the future.
Tell me the good and the bad, if there's any bad. But tell me what you think about the Philippines.
But it's not really bad, but I have an interesting story about that. The first time when I got in the Philippines, I was younger that time. I had kind of a culture shock, what you would call it. You have been to Switzerland, so you know the differences. I was like almost crying, to be literally. I thought, how can I get out of this country alive? Because I was so really shocked in the surroundings here. And also, you will not see in Switzerland, for example, you stop in the red traffic light, and then the poor street kids, they will knock on your window, they will ask for money or for food. And when I first saw that, that was really touching for me. Then it's shocking. I don't know, that's the human thing. After a few days only, you get used to it. And that turns kind of normal.
I think it's also like driving. Do you drive up here?
Yeah.
You drive. Yeah. Well, you drove up here together. That's right. You drove up together. It's the driving. There's a big difference in driving over here than it is inside Switzerland.
Yes.
I've driven in Switzerland many times, as I talked to, doing all my travels in Europe. But that at first, I think that's probably culture-wise a big difference between our home countries and over here. But it doesn't take long to get adjusted to that either, because I don't know if you found the same strategy. My strategy, because I've lived around the world, I've driven around the world, and what I do is I look at how the locals drive.
Yeah.
And what you have to do is you adapt. Adapt.
Go with the flow is
Go
the
with the
one
flow.
that they told me.
Yeah, go with the flow. And for me, my analysis of all these different places is, I call it organized chaos.
Yes.
It's crazy. It's crazy, right? You know, it's organized chaos, but it's very different. It seems crazy, but everybody's doing the same thing, and it works. and you rarely see, even over here, with the congestion, with the thousands of tricycles and jeepneys and motorcycles and scooters and vehicles, and they're all compressed together.
Yes.
Nobody gets into an
Everywhere.
accident. It's all organized because everybody does the same thing over here. So anyway, great. Listen, I'm going to close for it's getting really dark, and I don't think this camera's going to hold up much more with this. I'll be turning the lights on here in just a minute. I am so glad these guys came to visit us here today, and I wish them both the best luck in their upcoming year with their marriage and all their years inside marriage. And I hope both of you do your plan wherever it is, whether it's in Switzerland. But you know what I find out? A lot of people, they leave Filipinos, they leave the Philippines, but they always end up coming back because there's something here you will not find anywhere else in the world. You will never find that.
That's true.
And I don't have to tell the folks what that is because it's something very special here. Well, anyway, I want to thank you guys for coming and visiting me.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much, James.
When you come back, the next time you come back, please, it's a short trip from Laguna up here. When you guys are back, each time, please come here. The next time, we'll be situated more. Hopefully, Ness will be here during that time period when you come back, whenever that's going to be. And we'll do real neat things out on the back porch and barbecue and stuff like that. All right? All right, well, this is today's video that's being broadcast tomorrow. So hopefully we have some fun tomorrow. I have some really neat surprises, which is not going to be a surprise because you're going to be watching the video tomorrow about the things that went on over the last couple of days here. And it's some really neat stuff that has to do with some of the stuff that's being done in the yard. So until that time, bye. Well, it's time to go on a road trip. We're going to do a road trip to Batangas City, to the Batangas City Wilcon, where we're going to pick up, and I'll show you the type of tile edger that we're going to grab from that location. They don't have it locally. Well, it's this one right here. You see, and what this is going to do, now this is going to go over the edge of our step right here, and then we're going to put a rise tile here for the backing, and we're going to use the grass block down there, and it's going to fill in on top. Well, this is actually not going to be that low. It's coming up to about this high to match up with the grass block that's going to have about 1 centimeter of sand underneath it. Then we'll have a rise, and each one so that each one of the rise from one step to the next is the same. It will be equal. They'll all be equal. And I'm hoping for around a 7.5 inch rise. I don't know. And remember, this is outside. We're not really too concerned if it's a little bit taller or shorter, even for the outside, because it's outside. I'm not really worried about it too much. As long as it's not too high, then I'll worry. Now, the dilemma was, what am I going to put for this area right here? Well, I got to tell you, I went inside my stock on the inside. Let's walk inside the garage for a moment, and I'll show you. Instead of spending a lot of money, there is so much residue, so much extra material that my builder bought all this. There's enough. I have enough of this material, which is what we used back here. And I'm going to show you what it looks like on the floor in the bedroom in the basement. But it's this material. You see this walnut grain ceramic tile. Now, my builder bought enough for 2 rooms. I don't know why he bought that much. He should have calculated it better. But we're going to take advantage of all this. This is residual materials that we have here, and all of this. All this is also residual material. My builder bought so much overage. Well, anyway, problem solved for that portion. I just have to go pick up the little protective step, the non-slip edge that goes on there. I'm going to go pick that up now. So let's go on a road trip to Batangas City. right, here we are. We haven't been here to the Batangas City Wilcon in a long time, but I know they have what I need. We're gonna go pick up those tiles, and then if there's anything else we need while we're here, they might have something a little different from what they have down in the Lipa Wilcon as well. We'll look and see if there's anything we need for the house. So you remember one of the things that we still need to get the threshold that goes in the shower stall on the second floor. And I really want it black, but I found this really neat piece, and it's not a remnant, it's actually a 1 meter by 60 centimeter wide piece of, I've never seen this color before. It's kind of very interesting. It's almost like a wood tone kind of a color with grains in it, but this is natural stone, this is granite. So I'm gonna get this. It's half the price. I don't have to get a big slab like the big slabs behind me. So we'll pick this up, and we're only gonna use, it's got a scratch down here on the bottom, but we're not gonna use that portion. We're only gonna cut off about this much right here to go into the threshold area for the shower. I think this is gonna look really nice with the natural stone color that we have with the travertine and everything. So we'll pick this up. They have my 3 bags of tile adhesive. It's already out there, and the sales associate here also has the tiles that we need to finish it. So we have everything we needed to finish those stairs in the backyard. I'm back here at Villa Feliz, and I didn't take any video, but I stopped on the way coming back from Batangas City, Wilcon. Something caught my eye, and I'm always looking at plant nurseries all the time, because remember, we have to populate. We're still working on doing landscaping here. So I was driving down the road, and this one that I'd never seen before, this garden, landscape garden, caught my eye. I pulled off real quick to the side of the road, and then what happened? I bought a truckload of Hawaiian palms. I bought 10 to be exact, 10 Hawaiian palms. And we're going to use those. We have 10 spaces, 10 fence areas here that there's one for each one of the fence. We're going to put right in the center of each one of these all the way down the line. Now, I would do it in the front, but we have electrical lines in front, and we can't have anything that will grow tall. So we'll have to find something that's low lying for the front of the house. Plus, you don't want anything that will distract it from the front view of the house as well. So this was impulsive. But in the Philippines, when you see something and it's something you think you might want, I always say you need to grab it, because the next time you go back to that store or that nursery, they might not be there. And it was a good deal. I got 10. Now, I will tell you, I bought these in the U.S. before. They didn't survive the winter. We're in that zone where some things might not survive in Charleston, South Carolina. But I bought these. They're called foxtail palms in the U.S., but they call them Hawaiian palms here. And I bought one of these, and I can't remember the exact price, but it was around, for this size, it was somewhere between, I think, 80 and 100 US dollars for one of these. I got these for 350 pesos. 350 pesos each, like $7. It's crazy. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get these out. We'll put them out on the side, and then I will work with my gardener to slowly populate the outside area. And then we'll put some low-lying plants, some low-lying shrubs, so as not to block a lot of the view from the house. But these will give some really nice shade as they're getting bigger. And they're beautiful plants when they get to maturity. So let me help these guys. Okay, all of the palms are downloaded, and the next thing is to start digging some holes, but it's the end of the day today, so we won't be digging any holes today. I think maybe tomorrow I will work with Ponciano and we'll start digging some holes. I also got some additive. Let me see if I can see the name of the additive. This is stuff that they do over here that we don't have in the US. I'm not really familiar with this, but the name, well, it's not hog breeder mash. That's just the bag that these are in. What's inside here is something that almost looks like charcoal. And if you know what the name of it is, for those of you who live in the Philippines and have done planting with this type of additive, but it's supposed to give a little bit of more nutrient and better soil conditioning for poor, not very good quality soil. Now you know the soil here at Villa Feliz is very good quality, but you remember everything that we have out here on the edge, that is being used to, the soil here that's going to be used for these Hawaiian palms. It's got a lot of concrete mixture. It's from the construction. It's probably not that great. It's probably the roughest shape out of every bit of the soil on the property here. Clay, concrete, and who knows what else is inside there. And it's very hard, it's very compacted. So we're going to use that as an additive to go along and give the Hawaiian palms here a boost for the roots to get formed inside this little island that goes all the way around the outside of the fence line. Let's kind of take a look and see what the guys did while I was gone. They went crazy on work today. I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed. Now my gardener, now he has both of the planters. Both of the planters are filled in with the topsoil, and this is pretty good topsoil. You could see the quality of this soil that we have in here. So that's going to be great for whatever tree that we put in there. I want to get something similar to the ficus over there. I want to put 2 of them in this area right here. Something that's easy to shape, easy to maintain, and doesn't grow too tall, but I want a little bit of shade on this west window here for the sunroom. Also, let's walk down into the driveway here from these steps, and I want to show you what the guys got accomplished today while I was gone. So we are very close to finishing this. Now they've used everything. Well, even though you see we're missing all of this stonework in this area, and all on the backside, which it's about 8 tiles per side, so it's about 30, 8, 16, 32. I do my math there real quick in my head. So on the backside is 32 missing there, plus this area, plus a little bit along the bottom here, and this small section right here. And so I asked my tiling senior here what the number is that we need. Now he said 52, and remember we ordered 6 boxes of 7, which is 42. We have 42 on order. So I might have to call, and I think I'm going to call. I'm going to see if they've shipped it yet, if they can add another couple of boxes for us to get the required amount to finish the installation right here without having to use lots of little pieces. Now we have lots of remnants, residue, whatever you want to call it. We have leftover, but they're small pieces, and we could fill them in with those because remember it's slate, but you would see some of the squareness. You would see the edges in spots like these where the edges would fit together right here, and you would probably see and recognize that was filling. So we're going to try to make it look as professional as possible. So I will give CW Home Depot in Alabang another call and see if they can add another couple of boxes to the order. We'll see. I'll let you know what they tell me. Now also, the guys here are prepping for the steps. They've already started laying the grass blocks inside. And remember, we're going to put the edgers. Somebody's kind of stepped in something they were doing to get levelness here. But here, put this down. I don't know if that's going to make a big difference or not. But anyway, so the grass blocks are going to go there. The edger, the non-slip edge is going to go across here. We'll fit across, and then we'll put that leftover wood porcelain tile along the back, porcelain ceramic tile along the back for the rise. And that's, remember, all of this, every bit of this is still materials left over from the construction. All of this, well, I purchased this later on, but this was left over, and we're, like I said, it is not going to be a much bigger investment to complete this job with the stone tile, and I think it's just absolutely beautiful. And you see, it fits in really. Wait do you see it with the steps here and all the steps in place, nice and clean. Along with this, this is going to make this entranceway into the backyard very nice and elegant looking. Well, that's about it for today, folks. It's been a really good day. Even though I had to make a trip and go pick up some supplies, Again, it is always surprises. There's always surprises in the Philippines, and the surprise for me today was finding the plants that at such a great price on the way home when I wasn't even planning on getting these. Well, I was planning on getting a couple of trees, but trees for the planters, not the ones for the front of the house. But that's one less thing that I have to worry about later on. Remember, it is about 6 days. It's like around 6 days before Ness arrives. So we are in the final stretch to try to get everything closed out and look as beautiful as possible for her when she arrives. Now, I really want her to be surprised about the evolution of where we are today with Villa Feliz, so that when she comes in, it is like a home now instead of a house under construction. But before I close for today, it wouldn't be fair for me to close without doing a few shout outs that I owe from yesterday, because I didn't do a video yesterday, even though I uploaded it from the PLDT outage days. So let me start today, and I'm going to do something a little bit out of the usual today, because I am feeling so happy and perky because of the progress and how close we're getting to finishing up the project here. I don't normally do month-versaries. I do anniversaries, I do birthday shout-outs, and I do OFW recognition for all the hard workers, the folks that are overseas supporting their family back here in the Philippines. But today, one of my subscribers, a long-time subscriber of the channel, John Rogers, he asked me to do a month-versary shout-out. Anyway, it's for him and his wife, Maricel, and they are celebrating their 63rd month-versary. So that's really close to going to round off to a anniversary very soon. So to both you, John, and to Maricel, I want to wish you a happy month-versary. Well, the next shout-outs are going to be birthday shout-outs, and I think I'm going to stand in front of the Hawaiian palm right here. We're going to start taking advantage of some of the landscaping here for some of our backgrounds. So for November 8th, we got, it's like about three birthday shout-outs for November 8th. And the first one is from another longtime subscriber, Douglas Hill, and it's for his son Paul. His son Paul turned 13 yesterday, as well as Douglas's nephew. Let me see if I can get the name right. It's not that difficult to want to say. Christian Rollins, and he turned 18 yesterday on November 8th. And the next birthday shout-out goes to June Velarde's Asawa Daisy, who turned 55 yesterday on November 8th. Anyway, the couple live in Chicago, but the way I read it, the way I read their message, I think they said they were originally from Cavite. Well, they did tell me also that they are planning on building a house in Tagaytay in the near future. And last but not least is a very special birthday shout out. Not that all the birthday shout outs aren't special, but when it comes to this special topic, it's a very special one in my heart, and I'm sure a lot of yours as well. As you know, in the Philippines, one of the biggest birthdays that you can have is a child's first birthday. And this shout out goes to a young man whose dad's name is Papa Irwin. Papa Irwin wanted me to give a shout out to his first son, who's having his first birthday. And his name, the son's name is Sherwin Kyle Romodosa, and his nickname is Sky. Anyway, he is celebrating his first birthday yesterday. He celebrated his first birthday yesterday. Anyway, Papa Irwin is an OFW in Saudi Arabia. So anyway, Papa Irwin, I want to applaud you for taking care of your family back home here in the Philippines. And I also want to wish all of the birthday recipients today a happy birthday. Well, it's time to close for today, and Villa Feliz, as the name implies, happy country home, is almost a reality. We are just days away from what we're going to call closure on the house, and we'll start doing normal tasks around here on a day-to-day basis. Next week, Ness comes in. That's when it's going to be a happy family home when she gets here. When the four of us, me, Ness, Hapon, and Mary Ann, can sit around here and enjoy everything that we've worked so hard all these years to try to put together in our home, our retirement here in the Philippines. Now, that being said, I'm going to close for today, and then, like I said, we are back on schedule again today. PLDT's up, knock on weeds. The PLDT's up, and we have a backup solution with the Globe little Wi-Fi access point that we have now inside the house. And I tested it out, and it works fine. So if everything goes well, we will be uploading on a normal basis whenever we have something to share with you. More of the construction. We still have some more stuff that has to be done. Tomorrow's going to be exciting. Mainly because for me, I think we're going to close out those steps that lead to the backyard, and once that whole area is done, that's going to look very finished. Oh, everything except for the stone cladding. I still got to do the follow-up call about that to see when I can get all those tiles in. But that's an easy task. Even if I have to finish that, it's just tile adhesive stacking and completing that out. So we are so close to finishing this project. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for all the support. This isn't the end of the series. This is just the end of today. And I just want to give my heartfelt thanks to everybody who's been supporting all of us here at Villa Feliz during this build. So tomorrow is Saturday. It'll be the end of the work week and our last day of the work week until we start over again on Monday. Well, as I can see from my battery and listening to myself ramble on here, it is time to close for the day. So if you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up. Please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time, you have a wonderful and blessed day.